Jai Bhagavatam Javika Jai Radha Bhagavatam Kunjavika Gopijanna Vallabha Girivaradha Vijanna Vallabha Girivaradha Yashodhana Dana Vrajajanaya Yashodhana Vrajajanaya Yamida Vanacha Yamida Vanacha Om Namo Bhagavate Vasu Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam Ki Jai Shri Shri Radha Damodar Ki Jai Samaveta Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai Gaur Premanande Narayanam Namaskritya Ram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Sarasvatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Mudiraye Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnanalakaya Achurum Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangum Langayatu Girim Bhakti-patamaham Vande Shri Gurum Dinataram Paramananda Madhavam Shri Chaitanya Mishwaram Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Swami Namine Namaste Sarasvate Deve Gauravani Shashunyavadi Paschathyadi Shatarini Vanchakalpatarupyascha kripa sindhupya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha Jaya Shri Krishna Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, thank you very much for coming and for connecting for today's Srimad Bhagavatam class. We are reading from 5th canto. We're gonna converses with Yadabharata. Today's verse is number 4. Yadartha Yogeshvara Drishyamanam Phalam Sad Vyavahara Moolam Nayanjasa Tattva Bhavan Mushmin Ramate Manomi. Srila Prabhupada's translation. I'm purport. Yat means that which, aha, yoga Ishvara, O master of mystic power, Drishyam seen, Kriya Palam, the results of moving the body here and there, such as feeling fatigue, sad, existing, Vyavahara Moolam, whose basis is etiquette alone, na, not only, Anjasa, on the whole, or in fact, Tattva Vimarshanaya, for understanding the truth by consultation, Bhavan, your good self, in that explanation, Brahmate, Anaha, mind, me, my. Translation. O master of yogic power, you said that fatigue resulting from moving the body and there is appreciated by the, but actually there is no fatigue. It simply exists as a matter of formality. By such inquiries and answers, no one can come to the conclusion of the absolute because of the presentation of this statement. Srila Prabhupada's purport, formal inquiries and answers about the bodily conception do not constitute knowledge of the absolute truth. Knowledge of the absolute truth is quite different from the formal understanding of pains and pleasures. In Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna informs Arjuna that the pains and pleasures experienced in relation to the body are temporary. They come and go. One should not be disturbed by them, but should tolerate them, the spiritual realization. Yadaha Yogeshvara Drishyamanam Iya Palam Sat Vyavakara Moolam Ayancha Sat Tattva Vimarshanaya Bhavan Shmin Ramate Manome. O master of yogic power, you said that fatigue resulting from moving the body here and there is appreciated by direct perception, but actual fatigue, it simply exists as a matter of formality. By such inquiries and answers, no one can come to the conclusion of the absolute truth of your presentation of this statement. My mind is a little disturbed. Maharaj Raghunatha here is speaking as very well any of us could speak, saying it's bewildering, like Srila Bharata has been speaking about transcendental realization to the point of completely distinguishing from the bodily concept of life. But the majority of people feel a connection with our present life. Isn't it? We have the present condition of life is what we are experiencing at the moment, and therefore we could ask what Maharaj Raugana is asking Yada Bharata, questioning the instructions on transcendental subjects he gave in the previous chapter. And in this chapter is continuing in a more, we could say in one way, in a conversational fashion. Well, a very important word in today's verse is, which is referring to verse Raugana, is Vyavahara Mulam. Mulam means root, and Vyavahara means it's a matter of etiquette, also could be translated as conventional. What socially and conventionally we do in life. This is a term very much used in Vedantic discourse when there is discussion about transcendental philosophy. The teachers and students of Vedanta philosophy use significant and relevant to today's verse. One is Vyavaharika, which means conventional discussion. What we talk in daily life about food, about house, about sleeping, about family life, um, about problems in life, how do we deal with the problem, discussion, Vyavaharika. And of course, here it is mentioned as a matter of etiquette. We follow a social etiquette in behaving, in dealing with people in our daily dealings. This is called Vyavaharika. And then there is what it is called Paramarthika. Paramarthika means that which deal with a higher parama, superior artha, superior goal in life, which means basically realization of the absolute truth. Realization of the absolute truth is described in the beginning of the Srimad Bhagavatam. Dvaya Jnana, that knowledge which is non-dual, meaning which is not subject to the uh, conventional dualities of the material body and the senses, cold and hot. It's starting to get a bit chilly in the morning. We we put warm clothes. Then during the day feels better, and then we take off the warm clothes and go with shorter sleeves and relax more. So these dualities are concerned with the material body. The Paramarthika concept of life is actually Advaya Jnana. It is non-dual. Uh, and this is described in a well-known verse at Bhagavatam. Some of you will be familiar with Vadanti tat tat vavidas tat brahmeti paramatmeti bhagavaniti shaptiyate. That learned transcendentalists know the absolute truth in terms of three levels of realization, which the three of them are situated in the non-dual plat, beyond the duality of the, the material concept of life, happiness and distress and so on. And these three levels of realization are Brahman, the impersonal aspect of God, Paramatma, the localized aspect of God, Krishna within the heart, who is giving us guidance, and Bhagavatam, Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna, who manifests in many different desires of his pure devotees in reciprocation. Viyatamam prapadyante, tamstataiva bhajami aham, mama varmanu vartante, manusya partha sarvashaha. Krishna says that according to how devotees, how people approach me, I reciprocate with them. So certainly the, the one Tadekatma Rupa, one Supreme Personality of Godhead, he reciprocates with each devotee according to the desire of a personal relationship the devotee has with the Lord. It can be more intimate or more according to the mood of the devotee. And the Lord is very happy to reciprocate the particular relationship the devotee is attracted to, because ultimately he is Akila Rasamrita Murti, as Srila Rupa Goswami states. He is the enjoyer and the source of all the different personal relationships with different types of devotees. So, so when we look at these two dimensions of transcendental discourse, we have a harika, what is called conventional, and paramartika, transcendental, and Jadabharata is being an Atmanandya Paramahamsa, a self-realized soul, who is much more concerned with Paramartika discourse, and is actually rejecting as useless the Vyavaharika discourse, like mating and defending. For Yadabharata, he's saying, who cares? I mean, this is just the waves of the modes of material nature. Like in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna states, Prakriti kriyamanani urnai karmani sarvashaha shankara vimutatma artaham iti manyate. Only someone who is bewildered thinks himself the doer of the activities which actually are performed by the modes of material nature. Like many things we experience are actually biological. It's happening due to the transformations of the elements of the body. And material nature is acting, and it's happening when we have a young body, we are extremely energetic. When we have an old body, it's getting slow, it's moving at a different pace. And even if we like to follow the younger generation, sorry, but generally we cannot. Yes, when somebody becomes transcendental, may happen, like Srila Prabhupada exhibited in London Ratayatra in 1973. He was dancing in ecstasy like a young boy, and this is due to his transcendental energy. But generally speaking, the body will follow the waves of mature. And at some point, starts to dwindle, even if the soul is situated in consciousness, increasing consciousness. So the emphasis is given for uh, paramartha, for superior discussion. We find this also in the beginning of the instructions given by Shukadeva Goswami to Maharaji in the beginning of the second canto, when Parikshit has posed the question, human life, and especially for the person who is about to, to die. What is what is the supreme occupation, the supreme duty. And then he qualifies the question what the person should think about or speak about, what the person should hear about, worship, and also what one should not do in life. When Shukadeva Goswami starts by answering what we should not do. It's interesting that he starts with this, speaking right away about what to do, because he knows that in the age of Kali, we have the tendency. This is a natural inclination of we embodied souls, and especially in the age of Kali. He states, Shrotavyadini Rajendra, Varinam Santi Sahasrasha, Pashyam Atma Tattvam, Viheshu Grihamedinam. But persons who are devoid of the soul and of the supreme soul, the knowledge of Krishna, not just the theoretical knowledge, but actually tattva means in truth, the realization of the Supreme Lord in life, in daily life experience. Persons who are devoid of such transcendental realization, they have many themes in society. In Srila Prabhupada's purport to the verse, says we have many topics to speak about, like political subject matters and, and about family matters, about health issues, so many different things concerned with the physical body and with the material mind. But these are superficial topics that even the animals are discussing. In another purpose, Srila Prabhupada is saying, like, for instance, the birds in the morning are speaking about so many things. The birds. They're singing, and when they sing, they're communicating about these sub matters. Where is food? Where is uh, where I can get some to make my house or the house for my children? How will I be able to protect my children from wild animal who may come and attack them, and so on? These are the topics normally we discuss in material, and this is what we see in the news. In the news, the majority of topics are subject matters. But actually, these things happen anyway. You don't need to have big discussions about it. it they are due to, they're bound to happen. We have a need for food, we will eat. We have a need for sleeping, we will sleep. We have a mating, we will mate. We have a need for defending, we will defend. This is natural in the life for every embodied soul. The human form of life offers us the opportunity to go beyond these external matters, but we may have to take care of them because we have a body, we have no choice on to, to take care of these things. But actually, human life is meant for higher realization and not for taking shelter of valuable soldiers, as Shukadeva Goswami further instructs Maharaj Parikshit. And Dehapatya Kalatradeshu Atmasayeswa Satswapi Sampramatto Nidhan Pasyan Apina Pashyati. That these persons who are devoid of Atmata soul, they take shelter of fallible soldiers. Fallible soldiers means family members, can be the husband or the wife or the children or the parents, the bodily strength, the money I have in my all the different the house. We take shelter of all these fallible soldiers, and they are compared to fallible soldiers because they are bound to dwindle. They will not remain. If they are already in the mouth of the wild animal, the tiger, how can they protect me, animal? It's not possible. So, and therefore, Shukadeva Goswami concludes in his introduction to his Bhagavatam instructions, Tasmat Bharata Sarvatma Bhagavan Ishvaro Harihi Shrotavyascha Smartavyaschachatabhayam. But therefore, we should not waste time in superficial things, but we should focus on hearing, chanting, and remembering about the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Bhagavan, who is Sarvatma, who is the super soul. He is within the parts of living entity, and who is actually taking care of ourselves. So, taking care of every living entity. Nityo nityanam chetanas chetananam eko bahunam yovidhavati kaman. It says here the connection is unstable. Can you hear me well on the other side of the connection? Anyone can please speak up or write on the chat if you are hearing.
Hare Krishna, we can hear you, Maharaj.
Can you hear? Okay, good. Because sometimes it comes an announcement, thank you. It comes an announcement that the connection is unsteady, so that's why I'm asking. So, okay, now the question could be raised. Come on, somebody could say, we're here now in America, we have to deal with so many. And Srila Prabhupada, we are now here in Gita Nagari or connected to Gita Nagari and in service for this beautiful project Srila Prabhupada founded very early, was one of the first projects Srila Prabhupada established. What year Gita Nagari was started? What year? 76?
Was 1975, the property was purchased.
75?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. So 75, 19, you should know because you live here, you should know when it started. Anyway, some of you came, anyway, I'm just, anyway, I just mentioned it. So we are sitting in 1975. When 1975 was bought, and then the devotees started to develop. And Srila Prabhupada, we read in the database and in Prabhupada discussions, conversations, Srila Prabhupada wanted to come here to start Varna Ashrama Dharma. Srila Prabhupada's desire. And Varna Ashrama Dharma is concerned with actually considering also the Vyavaharika aspects and integrating them into pure devotional service. The term used by Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Ashrama, which means divine Varna Ashrama. And of course, the concept of Srila Prabhupada's Varna Ashrama, we look at the purpose in 10th canto, chapter 13, which Srila Prabhupada was dictating in Vrindavan, speaking some of these purpose on, on his deathbed, literally, with Prabhupada's lying on the bed, and some of his disciples, Pradyumna Prabhu, Jayadvaita Maharaj, Harishauri Prabhu, and others are there very closely hearing what Srila Prabhupada is speaking of that. And he is speaking about Varna Ashrama. And the concept of Varna Ashrama, Srila Prabhupada was, of course, was vow protection, Brahminical culture. This is what we find in the first canto of Srimad Bhagavatam in Srila Prabhupada's purpose, where he underlines these Varnashrama principles. Vow protection, which here you have a very important, very big program of cow protection, and Brahminical culture, Brahminical culture, worship, temple worship, spiritual education, and of course, Kirtan Krishna Katha, and Krishna Katha, Hari Katha, hearing about Krishna, chanting about Krishna. And actually, in Srila Prabhupada's to the 13th chapter of the 10th canto on Varnashrama, Srila Prabhupada was speaking programs indicating that he wanted to integrate the two. So the development of the community development with the temple program. Well, we could, I mean, we will have to look into the 10th canto, but you can read it yourself. There are two parts on that line, which is actually telling that the idea of Varna Ashrama, Srila Prabhupada was thinking about to integrate our conventional tendencies, which naturally we use according to our psychophysical natures. We develop our services in a natural environment, like here in Gita Nagari, very natural environment, working the land, protecting the cows, living very simple lifestyle in connection with nature and the community of Buddhists. And in the same time, performing the different angas of devotional service, hearing, chanting, remembering, worshipping, praying, and so on. So this is the Daiva Varnashrama implies integrating these aspects. This is the beauty of the process of bhakti that integrates karma and jnana. Normally, in we look at what we call the Vedic tradition, we find the two paths, the path of karma, which means implies the cultivation of ritual and dharma, artha, kama, validity, material prosperity, and enjoyment in this life, in this world. And then we find the path of jnana and vairagya, knowledge and renunciation, which pushes us on the direction touch from the world and going into the transcendental dimension of life. But actually, the bhakti is that it integrates the two. Karma, the activities are integrated with transcendental knowledge and are offered with a spirit of bhakti, a spirit of devotional service for the pleasure of the Lord, the spiritual master, and the devotees. And this is the process that Srila Prabhupada taught, and therefore Srila Prabhupada spoke about coming to Gitanagari to establish Varnashrama, Daivi Varnashrama. And this can be extended to other communities around the world. This principle of integrating the Vyavahara aspects of life, conventional aspects of life, transcendental aspects of our existence. Thank you very much. I'll stop here. Now you can ask questions or make comments if you like. Those of you who are online, you can speak up, or you can, so we can hear you, or if you prefer, you can write it on the chat. Here we have 5 devotees and maybe some inside the altar. Gracias, Prema Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Maharaj. Thank you so much.
Hare Krishna.
Oh, nice to hear from you. I'm wondering, like, is for in terms of Varnashram Dharma, are there some kind of, how do I say it? Like intermediate steps that have been chalked out, have been kind of planned out to take?
Intermediate steps. What do you mean by intermediate steps? Can you
Like,
specify?
yeah, like, is there, like, when I hear of these things, you know, like big devotional, like devotional communities with brahmanas, you know, kshatriyas and vaishyas and sudras, all, you know, working in their respective varnas, and then all the ashramas and all the training. It seems very, very far away. But I'm just thinking if there's like, what's the next step, you know, from where we are to get to that.
Yeah, I mean, in one way, it happens in a very natural way, that every person will perform a service according to his or her nature, isn't it? Normally, it happens like that, like someone who is inclined and is good in taking care of the cows and working the land, will naturally do that. And to make something sustainable should be something that suits one's psychophysical nature. Of course, in the age of Kali, the Varnas are quite mixed. Sometimes we hear about the term in Bhagavad Gita, Varna Sankara. Varna Sankara literally means the Varnas mix. So sometimes it's a bit more complex. And if there are mixtures, we can also use them in Krishna's service. If somebody maybe inclined to working hard with the physical body, but in the same time may have also some tendencies for studying Srila Prabhupada's books and likes to study and to discuss philosophy. So both can be combined. Why not? It's not that no, we should put everyone in boxers and won't be able to do anything else. That's not what Srila Prabhupada himself taught by example. So sometimes we have some prejudices in defining the concept too much like a very German way of thinking. Like sometimes the German thinks in a box, everybody put in a box. But does not necessarily functions in this way. We have to see what works and what fits our psychophysical nature. My understanding from reading Srila Prabhupada's, what we have read from Srila Prabhupada about Varnashrama is that he didn't want to put everyone in a box. Of course, yes, he wanted to teach by example to society how to do things how to do things be something other people in society can emulate, will be willing to do. So it should be a model that can be replicated. If it is not a model that can be replicated, then we need to review what we're doing, not be so functional. If we develop a community, it should be okay, this community start a similar community elsewhere. And so much so, like it happened recently, I attended the European Communications Conference. And in the devotees from Hungary gave a report. And you may know that they have the model of New Prajadam, the farm community there, is much developed. And the wife of the prime minister is very fond of agriculture. So she spent the whole day. The prime minister is we could say, right-wing political party, like Mr. Trump here in America. Like say, we won't get into politics, but it's kind of the same style of mindset. Orban is his name. And the wife went there and she had really a good time and went home, whatever. And after some time, the devotees inaugurated a new building. And they invited the government. And the Minister of Agriculture came. It was one place for agricultural development in New Brajadam. And the Minister of Agriculture gave a show appreciating what the devotees were doing. And then he said, Mr. Orban, the Prime Minister, is sending a message. He says he only has one complaint about you people. The complaint is that you only have in Hungary one new Rajadam. The vote is to open more similar projects, which indicates that this is successful, that the leaders of society, of course, this may be also lip service, they may be speaking like that, and what are they doing? They may not do anything. But in any case, they're shading, and they want more communities like that, because they are sustainable development to community development, to so many things in society, spiritual and higher values in society, and so on. So I hope I replied to your question. Gracias, Prem. You are working now, you're in service, you're not hearing. Okay. Another questions or comments online or on live in the temple? New project, you mean? No, New Brajamandala in Spain. New Brajadam is in Hungary. New Brajamandala is a farm community in Spain. It started only 4 years after Itanagari, started in 1979. It has many ups and downs, so the history of the place, history, I don't think we can like say all the projects are the same. There can be, because people make the projects and can change also who are the leaders who are help contributing to develop the place and so on. Like you have these beautiful people because uh, Ekavira and Brajalila Prabhus, they develop, the community, but they decided, okay, we need to build a new temple and you have it. Now in New Brajamandala, we want to build a temple because everything is very much mixed up in the same building. We have the guest house, the temple room, the ashrams, everything in one big building. So this makes it difficult to manage to develop and to move things to another phase. And also we have a project for house building. I heard, you are thinking of that, of developing an area for building houses so that more families can come and live here. It is important also because this facility contributes to having more devotees in the community. There is a kind of synergy that is created in terms of human interaction. Like I became the president in New Brajamandala in 2017. I was asked kind of an emergency, and there was another crisis, and the GBC representative, Vidai Chaitanya Prabhu, and what is Bhakti Gauravani Maharaj, who was the previous president, and there was a crisis, and he told me, I cannot continue doing this, you have to take it over, and I think you can do a good job, and blah, blah, blah. They told me that I should take it over. And Krishna was speaking to me through the devotees. This was the last thing I was thinking of doing. Take one place. I was traveling and preaching to the different provinces in Spain. But then I got the message like, you are traveling and preaching, but if you go to conquer other places, the capital is sinking, is you are losing the capital. What's the point? You should focus on this place, travel and preach. So by Krishna's grace, there are some few developments. There is many things need to be developed, but more devotees came on young couples. And for the young couples to come, what we saw is that it to start a school. Young couples with little children. Now the school is at the school, but not too many came few families, and we had like 10 children in the school, but now the parents decided, okay, the children are growing up, now we should put them in the regular school because whatever reasons the parents were considering will be better. When we have a teacher, and it's too small, they need to socialize with more children and so on. So, but certainly it's important to bring more young families to the community, if that's what we want. And that happened in New Brajamandala. And housing facility is also important to bring more families coming close to the temple environment. Of course, it rent the nearby areas and so on, but certainly housing is also. We saw that we need to focus on 4 levels of sustainability. One is spiritual sustainability. If there is no spiritual sustainability, it's not going to be possible to survive. So that means energy has to be put into culture, spiritual education, temple worship, kirtan programs, activities which development of the members of the community, and also will attract other members to come and join the community. So spiritual sustainability is very important. Then financial sustainability. There must be a system to maintain every functioning. Like here yesterday, Dhruva Maharaj Prabhu was telling me about have developed since he became president 15 years ago. We were talking about, naturally, I asked him about budgets and so on. I won't get into the details of budgets and so on. The budget here is 3 times bigger than the budget we have in New Brajamandala. So, forward for. So you have grown, but he told me in the beginning was not like that. When he took the management of the place, was much less. So naturally, financial sustainability is necessary. There must be a system for maintaining the, the practical aspects, and the temple and also the families should have a decent lifestyle. So this is another aspect. Then social and cultural sustainability. There is a need for social interaction and for interaction. Otherwise, the devotees, the members of the community may not find, and then they may be looking to go elsewhere, because here I have more need for interacting. Of course, nowadays you can do that online to a certain extent, but the personal exchange is cannot be compared, cannot be substituted by online. Online, yes, you can do, but it's compared to the personal exchange. Naturally, we need to have with other members of the communities, to take lunch together or to whatever, like to have a gathering like the other day. We had a gathering, Sarvatman Divya Prabhu's well, they're organized in the other place, and I don't know how you call it, place. Yes, it's a community center. And then get together and have some more exchange, like more relaxed. This is required. Celebrate a birthday party together, isn't it? Because having something in New Brajamandala brings some social life to the community, and that's required. And then another most important aspect is environmental, or like ecological sustainability. So this is done by working the land and so on. So all these levels of sustainability needs to be taken care of for the community to be healthy and to be strong. And we need to work on that. And it's not easy. We always face challenges, and sometimes it's like juggling. You are juggling like so with 4 different balls, and you put energy in one, becoming weak, and then you put the energy in one, and the other becomes weak, and so on. To find ways how to maintain the sustainability of all the different areas which are required to have a healthy spiritual community, Krishna conscious community. I hope it's useful. Any final questions or comments? We have 3 minutes left. Prabhu.
Thank you very much for the presentation. My question is if India from Bangladesh, you want to work in the West, you are not, and you are not looking to get anyone. You always wanted to keep, and the more you wanted to keep it, the more you want to attract people that gradually was able to build a society. Uh, slowly, what I'm realizing is in this one, we are always looking for what we can get from people rather than what we can give. Because I was listening to one mental like and he said one he was one country somewhere in South Africa and one hey, what do you have guys have to offer? So he said, come on with minister, and he took him to the temple, and he said, this is a family, come back. This is this man, this man is from Spain, that one and that guy is from India, and different, and they are working harmoniously together. So we are telling you, we can offer you a situation where um, this
Harmony.
the people from diverse races can be together and work in harmony at the same time. And it says the minister I got the message because there is was so much like racism and all these things. So when he talked about this thing from the minister, God, yeah, okay, you guys have something to offer. So similar, if people come to our and they realize that we really offer and we try our best to give away, automatically it attracts people to come in. And when they come in, they also bring their technical know-how. In this way, we can easily develop a national dam. Other than that, we will be like, we are like, we are not out to the thinking that we are maybe we are like godly people and those people are this. That's massive. How are we going to be able to establish a nation? Because we have nothing to offer.
Yeah, that's a very good point. Our approach should be based on Krishna conscious values such as generosity, gratitude, compassion, yes, to give. And the more we give naturally by Krishna's laws, we get like watering the root of the tree. When we are serving, which is our constitutional position, naturally people want to join and participate. That's a very good point. So, yeah, I agree with your point. Okay, thank you very much. Oh, but Hare Krishna.
Well, because there is not a capacity, it's not
She mentioned that Mama you might be the Jaya. Yeah, we're not in Spain. Nice to I guess you. Yeah. So thank you for giving me the lesson tomorrow. He's very good. Yeah. Same with the movie. Yes. That's what's it called? Jaya Radha, Damodara Radha, Damodara Radha. Damodara Radha, Damodara